just a quick video to demonstrate Trackit Remote in the new version of Trackit 20XX. Um, New in the new version of 20XX is the ability to use remote control with devices on the external network. So obviously with Trackit 11.x it was only for internal network PCs to remote control. With the new version, then anything that's external to that network you can also remote control. That's because it's using a new technology called client management, or client management for Trackit. And just to give you a quick flavor of the remote control functionality within the new version, it's comparable with what you've got in 11.x, but I suppose remote control on steroids is probably how I'd describe it. Some of the things you can do is obviously from within the Trackit console, you can access the remote control feature from within the inventory, which is now called asset management, and you can also remote control from a help desk ticket. So at the moment on the screen, you can see we've got an asset that belongs to Nikki Newman, and this has got her high level information there, as you'd expect from the inventory module. What you can see in Trackit 20XX is you can look at the tickets that's associated with that particular workstation. You can filter and open and closed. You can also go into the information in a more low level detail. So you can see I've got the hardware information, software, but I can also see security information to see if the Windows firewall is enabled as an example. And then it ties into things like the purchasing module to pull over purchase information. And finally, just show some relations between the assets as well. So if you have pulled stuff over from 11.4, then the tracked items now are top level items, but they are linked, and it obviously tells you the child parent relationship between those. You can do an audit on demand simply by clicking audit now. So again, the same functionality. And then finally, you can click on remote control from here in order to remote control this machine. If you go into the help desk tickets, and again, all of these are forms. So now in 20XX, you can customize these forms and remove fields that aren't of interest to your particular team. So you can set up different help desk tickets for different teams, for example. So you may have certain information that's important for the network team, but you might want to use certain user definable fields for the database team that aren't relevant for the network team's usage. So things like that. And again, as you can see here, I've logged a call against Nikki Newman. Can't find my application. So probably the quickest way then is to just have a quick remote session and have a look at her desktop. And the way you do that is simply by click on the binoculars there for remote control. And by doing that, what it will do is it will launch a session so you can remote control the desktop. And as you can see, it's as simple as that. There's some little sort of features that you can do from there. So if I click on this little drop down box, that then will give me some access to sender control or delete. I can click on the certain settings. So if I wanted to lock the keyboard and mouse, then I can do so. And this is how I'd remote control. And that's all done from within Trackit, so all integrated nicely with there. Let me just close that session and then just show you another way. So as I mentioned, with the new version of Trackit, it ships with client management, and you shouldn't really need to go into this console that much. And as Trackit 20XX develops, there'll be more functionality in terms of external actions. As I say, that will be sort of on the roadmap ahead. But should you need to access any of that sort of functionality now, then there is a console available through client management, and launching into the home screen, this will provide you with a dashboard and then some other different features. So client management gives you the inventory and the remote control as you do enjoy in Trackit today. But what it does do is it opens up a world of additional sort of functionality based on your licensing. So, for example, if you need to patch your devices, and I'm not just talking about Microsoft patching, I'm talking about non-Microsoft patching as well. So, Adobe, that's probably a good example. You can actually patch those machines with the latest stuff. And as I say, you subscribe to that, downloads the patches, you apply them, and away you go. Deploy manager, so you can actually do software deployment, also operating system deployment. And then you've got compliance manager, so you can ensure that your endpoints are compliant with policies that you have. Maybe people need to be on the latest version of Internet Explorer as an example, so you can enforce policies. All of these work together nicely and integrate. We'll do more demonstrations and videos on that functionality, but just for today I just wanted to show you the remote manager. So if I go into the device topology here, we can see here I've got my server and I can see the various stuff that's linked. So I can see my domain controller switched on here, and I've got a client machine that's open. This is the one I'm going to demonstrate the remote control features. So if I go into the TN server, I can see all the stuff's on there. So if I wanted to go into the inventory, I can obviously capture all the information there. But if I then go into the client machine, I can see the client machine and all of the various stuff underneath there. So again, I've got the inventory access there. I can perform an audit now to get an up-to-date audit and see what hardware and software is on there. But then you've got the remote control that we saw earlier. But in addition to this, we've got some additional information as well. So for example, if I go into the direct access and expand this, I can access the file system, which means that I can do some bi-directional file transfer. So if I wanted to go into, I don't know, program files, Windows Mail, for example, I can see a number of files here, and I can transfer back and forth. So that's one of the things you can do with the file transfer. You've also got access to the registry, so I can go into various keys here and update them. Access to services and processes. And then again, this is all back-end stuff, so you're not affecting the end user when they're working, should you need to make any sort of changes. And from here, if I've got the BCM agent, I could highlight that out, and I could stop the service should I need to. Finally, Windows events as well, so you can capture the various logs that's been on that machine, and obviously view those from within client management. And then again, if I close off the direct access and we go into remote control, I've got the ability to remote control this machine from within client management by simply clicking on the remote control button. And again, there we are, got the screen, got some extra sort of icons here, so I could do stuff like run a new process, reboot, transfer files, etc., etc. So that's just a quick flavor of remote control in the new version of Trackit, and how you can access it through Trackit or some additional functionality through the BCM console. I hope that's been useful for you today, and if there's any questions, then you've got the little ticker going at the bottom there, so feel free to give us a call on 0121 663 1763 or email us at sales@truenorthsm.com. Quick video, as I say, I'm not using my usual speaker, so it's quite rudimentary, but hopefully enough to give you some information on the new version of Remote Manager. Many thanks for watching.